And both sides on the floor getting ready for the game ahead, and it's almost that time. Hello and welcome everyone to another exciting edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. Joined in the booth with Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. And now we take a brief check at the matchups. Our starting five for both teams. First for the Warriors, Curry and Thompson, the Splash Brothers in the backcourt. And at the center position, a 6'11" banger out of the Republic of Georgia, Jaja Pachulia. Then there's Iguodala, and it's Green in at the 4. And for the Thunder, Russell Westbrook out there with Roberson. And at the center position out of New Zealand and the University of Pittsburgh, 6'11" pivot, Steven Adams. He's thrilled for this one. Everyone will be watching now how he does in his first NBA official game. Then it's Paul George, and it's Patterson in at the 4 slot.
You know, so much has been said about the Oklahoma City home court advantage, and for good reason. I mean, you can feel it and hear it like a college atmosphere.
That's a good point. Clark, back to what you said. Not only can you hear it when they are here, you can literally feel it. The rumbling, Steve, when you first come out of the tunnel is amazing.
Well, the Thunder have a fantastic team, Kevin, and you know they've been good the last few years, but you don't go 34-7 at home like they did last season without a significant advantage coming from the crowd. And I think that's been the case here. The crowd is loud and active and fired up every single night.
And it's the Warriors' ball. Green with the ball. Guarded now by Patrick Patterson. No one covering. Iguodala's got himself on the board with 3 there.
You can't leave him alone, especially from long range.
Draymond Green with really a terrific legacy of success prior to the NBA, guys. I mean, he led Saginaw High to 2 Michigan State championships, and at Michigan State was able to be part of 2 teams that got to the Final Four and 1 that made it to the Sweet 16. That's impressive.
Well, if anything, Thompson has been an even better shooter in the pros than he was in college. Maybe because people aren't focused on him as much offensively. But he has a beautiful stroke, and he's a deadeye from the three-point line.
But Steve, even when he's closely guarded, he has the confidence and focus to knock it down.
Well, you kind of expect that from him. You pretty much know what the result's going to be when he goes to the line.
And going back to Draymond Green, Clark, very successful in college with Tom Izzo up at Michigan State, as you mentioned. But Steve, maybe a bit of a surprise, looking to the second round back in 2012.
I think a lot of teams, Kevin, felt that he was a tweener. They weren't sure if he was a 3 or a 4, and he really is. But the good news is that he can guard both positions, and he's improved his jump shot. More than anything, he's just a winner. He knows how to play, and he's a good addition to any team.
Quality kid. And Thompson kicks to Curry. Oh, he's going up for the alley-oop here. Iguodala, no good.
So hard not to go for it when you see a chance for an alley-oop like there was there.
I know he wishes he hadn't.
George gets a screen from Patterson. Pass to Roberson. Back to George. Some nice passing by Oklahoma City here. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Westbrook outside for George. And that comes off the assist by Russell Westbrook. George has got 5.
Tell you what, he is so difficult to guard, especially on a shot like that one.
Just over a minute and a half played here in this one. Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Hey, Kevin, I briefly spoke with Oklahoma City's head coach. One player that he's talked to his guys a lot about is Stephen Curry. He said Curry's one of the premier shooters in the game, and he's got that quick trigger. We really have to be tight to him, get physical, and try to get him on his heels as much as possible. Guys, Curry is an excellent free throw shooter. We'll see if they can do that without fouling him.
Thanks, Doris. Here's Westbrook. The shot is off, and Golden State will go the other way with it.
Well, you look at the turnaround last season for Golden State. A lot of it has to do with the steadying presence of Jarrett Jack and Carl Landry off the bench. Both players brought a toughness and a level of competitiveness that was maybe missing from the Warriors the year before.
Can you believe that dunk? I mean, that was first class right there.
I'm not sure I can believe that.
I don't know how he was able to execute the reverse in such tight quarters. Incredible.
Golden State's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Thompson against Westbrook. It's Iguodala with the drop. Putting on a show for these people.
I cannot believe he pulled that one out in the course of an actual game. Are you kidding me?
Oh, man. Might as well flaunt it if you've got it, Clark.
Here's Westbrook. And he was fouled in the act of shooting. Chance here now for a three-point play.
Not trying to rattle any rims or racks there. Just up and in with the finger roll. Put together a great team, fans can get a little wild. When you put together a great team that's exciting to watch too, then they really get wild. And that's what you have to deal with when you go to Oklahoma City. A great team with terrific fans.
And back to these great fans in Oklahoma City. They hosted the Hornets for one season in the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina, you recall. And Steve really showed what a great crowd they could be for a team.
Kevin, I agree. And I think that season when they hosted the Hornets, I think that showed the league that Oklahoma City was ready to become a franchise. And that's why the move from Seattle to Oklahoma City was allowed by the league, because the city had proven that they would support the club.
The pass to Adams. 6 to shoot. Fires from deep. And again, Oklahoma City with the triple.
Wow, just a tremendous first quarter shooting the basketball for them, guys.
Yeah, when they put it up, it's going in.
Here's Thompson. Pass to Curry. Launches a three. And Robertson pulls it down. Here's Oklahoma City now. They're on a 13-4 run.
Well, Stephen Curry, really the engine that drives the Warriors offensively. And I don't know if there's a more entertaining player in the whole league than Steph Curry. I mean, he's one of the elite shooters already early in his career in league history. And he's a leader for this team off and on the court. Just very, very impressive.
And the Warriors with a completely new 5 on the floor. We've got 1:13 left to play in the first quarter. McGee dishes to Young. No good on the shot, a bit long that time.
Can't get a much better look than that, though.
Sure can't. Not one you'd expect him to miss there.
And Curry last season logging heavy minutes, a good sign that he was able to hold up physically.
Yeah, and despite those concerns over that right ankle, he really had a tremendous season. I thought competed better defensively. Not the most athletic guy, but possibly the most skilled player in the league when you look at his ability to handle the ball, shoot with range, and pass.
It was great to see him get on a big playoff stage and show the rest of the country just what they've got to look forward to. Caspi passes to Livingston. Young outside. Shot clock at 6. Kicks it to Bell. Back to Young. A fader. And good on the basket. Book it. Here's Oklahoma City now. They're on a 19-6 run. Shot and game clock separated by 5. And now Young running the floor all by himself.
So deflating for a team. Clark coughing up the ball at one end, and then it turns into immediate points at the other end.
And it's just as much of a boost for the team getting those easy points off the steal.
Oklahoma City leading by 8. Here is Felton. Screened by Grant. Felton the pass to Ferguson. Plays up the pick. Gives him the lead pass.
Boy, that's finishing the defense there. He made a good effort on that possession defensively. And then
offense. All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment. And a look at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for Oklahoma City.
Boy, the three-point shot has really been dropping for him early on.
And the other thing we're seeing is great ball movement. We're seeing a lot of good offensive execution, ball movement, player movement, setting up assists.
An indication there of why the scoreboard looks like it does. Very passive defense.
But the finish was anything but passive.
No, he hammered that down, Clark. Superb above the rim action.
Such a wide open look. Young's got 7 points in the game.
You know, defensively, you cannot forget about him. They gave him a wide open look there.
The Warriors were able to get back to the postseason for the first time since the We Believe season in 07, when they knocked off the Dallas Mavericks as an 8th seed. They didn't finish above 500 on the road, but still were much better than previous years, which allowed them to get to the playoffs.
Well, back to that Warrior road record that Clark was talking about, 19-22, as you said. But I remember an early road trip that, had them go 6-1. Really helped them start to believe in themselves. Steve was a team last season.
Yeah, that included that buzzer-beating win against Miami on Draymond Green's shot. I mean, I think that's when this group really realized that they could make some noise and possibly be a playoff team.
Just 5 to shoot. Again, Golden State.
And they have to mix it up defensively. That was just too easy.
Timeout is called. First of the game for the Thunder.
Well, you could see it at the start of the season as Oklahoma City was being driven by falling short in the 2012 finals. Their focus was on being the best team in the West, and they jumped on that goal right from the start.
And the Thunder making a change here. Westbrook's checked in. Let's check out what Doris Burke has for us.
Iguodala, now the third team in his NBA career. In Philly, he felt over-criticized for not being the go-to scorer. In Denver, the lack of outside shooting crowded the court. But he could never hope for a better fit than he's found with the Warriors. A team with great shooting, Iguodala can focus on defense and playmaking, saying, quote, "I'd rather get a triple-double than score 40. And guys, get this. Only 12 players in NBA history have achieved his career averages in points, rebounds, assists, and steals through age 29. He's a terrific all-around player.
Yeah, Iguodala, truly a player whose scoring average doesn't do justice to his overall impact on the game. And for the Thunder, the second-best regular season record in the league last season, Steve, at 60-22.
Well, and they had the best point differential in the league, Kevin, which I think is probably the best barometer in terms of how well you're playing. But clearly the Westbrook injury in the first round of the playoffs against Houston just completely took the wind out of their sails. And I would look for Oklahoma City to be back this year with everybody healthy. They'll have a chip on their shoulders. They want to get back to the finals this year.
And the Warriors making a change here. Got a piece of it. And the foul called on Russell Westbrook. That is his first foul of the game. But Julia, he's checked in for Golden State. Curry comes in for Sean Livingston. Quarter two and just under 2.5 minutes gone by. And there's the call by the official. They'll count the basket here following the goaltending call.
And there it is again. That's where their points have been coming today, from the low post.
And even under pressure in tight, they've maintained their concentration and converted their opportunities.
It's George on the wing. No good again that time.
Even against solid defense, he's still going to try to continue to make that shot.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I wouldn't bet against him in that situation next time. Pretty bad defense, letting the offense get right to the rim, but smart play to foul once he was there.
But you know it's going to happen, and they sent a message right there. Nothing easy inside.
Draymond Green, he's checked in for David West.
You know, you look at Jaja Pachulia, and he's a guy I think that's underrated. He can really score around the basket. He knows how to use his body in a physical manner, and he can step out and knock it down from 15 feet, too.
Westbrook drives in from downtown, and there's Paul George on the assist by Westbrook. And it's 8 points for Paul George. Warriors trail by 3. Outside Curry. Three-pointer. Good. Back to Pachulia, originally from the Republic of Georgia in Eastern Europe, and has played most of his career in Atlanta, Georgia.
You know, probably a little different. Atlanta.
It is, Steve. It is a lot different, actually, than the Republic of Georgia.
Just a little.
Yeah.
But he's really solidified his place in the league. He's tough. He throws his weight around, draws fouls. All the things you like in a backup center.
Thunder have gone 2 of 6 in the field in the second quarter so far. Here's Westbrook. And so he draws the foul on the shot, a trip to the line to shoot 2.
And with Harden out of OKC, you knew that Russell Westbrook would have a lot of burden on his shoulders to be a playmaker, and he responded. I think he was very active last year in terms of distributing the ball.
And the Warriors making a change here. Thompson's checked in, and so Westbrook makes them both. And for Westbrook playing alongside Durant, some have said he needs to be more of a passer, less of a scorer. Clark at that point guard position.
I think that's some of the most misguided criticism that anybody could levy at him. He is a scorer. He is an aggressive, attacking guard. I just think he has to play to his strengths, and that's where he is, and that's who he is, and I think he's fantastic. I don't think there's anybody that's more dangerous in the backcourt than Russell Westbrook.
Andre Iguodala again. Iguodala's got 4 points this quarter.
You know, nobody responds to end-of-game pressure like this guy. That's what comes to mind immediately for me. He's hit some monumental shots in his career, and some guys just embrace the moment at the end of the game. That's him.
And Steve, some of the best highlights you're ever going to see are going to come from this guy. Every time he steps on the court, there's a chance he'll perform the dunk of the season.
And Curry, here we go. Kicks it out to Iguodala. Fires the three. And a great assist by Curry as that one goes in. And that's 12 points for Andre Iguodala. 30 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. To the paint. The shot's good from Adams. And the Thunder lead by 2.
There it is again. On a lot of their possessions this first half, they've established great position inside.
Yeah, getting the ball into the post should be their first option every time down. Force the defense to adapt and adjust.
Curry kicks to Thompson. Dishes it to Iguodala. Pocket 6. From outside, off the mark. Here's George. He got it up in time, but it wouldn't fall for him. And the first half ends in a close one.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
Welcome to 2K Sports. It's been a great Sunday of basketball so far. At the midway point, the Thunder are grinding it out. They've been drawing fouls, making their free throws count. That's always a key to success. Everything's going right for Russell Westbrook, who's all over the court against the Warriors. He's got 14 points, and as usual, he's been handing out a lot of assists. On the other hand, Golden State also been giving it their best. They haven't settled on tough shots. They're taking it strong inside. They're getting quality shots and a lot of quantity of those quality shots. A terrific first half for Andre Iguodala. Shouldn't be a shock to anyone. We've seen him put up big numbers before. That's all we've got here. Now, back to Kevin, Steve, Clark, and Doris for the second half.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
We have a close ball game on our hands as we get set for the second half of basketball.
Well, this Warriors ownership group has really energized the franchise. They've been very proactive. They purchased the D-League team from Dakota. It plans to move them to Santa Cruz, about an hour south of Oakland. And in order to accommodate the team's home games, they've built a new 3,000-seat arena in a matter of months.
And the Santa Cruz Warriors, as they've been renamed, have been a hit. You know, Clark leading the D-League in revenue, making the D-League finals last season.
And you know, with all of the D-League games now broadcast on YouTube, the exposure for players in the D-League is better than ever. And for the Warriors to have their D-League affiliate so close by gives them a much better opportunity to develop their young talent.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, over to you.
Guys, the Warriors aggressively pursuing top talent this summer. They surprised many as strong contenders for Dwight Howard and did end up with an all-star acquisition in Andre Iguodala. He gives them an elite perimeter defender who can also create offense for them in a point-forward role. And with their shooters, a great fit for his talents. This is a team not content to rest on its laurels, but constantly in hot pursuit of the best players in the game.
Such a terrific turnaround. Thanks, Doris. George dishes to Patterson. Westbrook drives in. Here's Adams, and that comes off the assist by Russell Westbrook. Westbrook's got his 7th assist in the game. Warriors trail by 3.
Steven Adams, originally from New Zealand. He's of English and Tongan descent. You don't hear that often in the NBA. Just played 1 year of collegiate basketball at Pitt, but kind of a raw prospect with a lot of ability. Very athletic, good size, and a really high character person.
Oklahoma City's gone 6 of 8 on three-pointers in the game, an outstanding 75% mark. The three from George. Offensive rebound. Roberson the pass to Adams, and it's out of bounds. Oklahoma City able to retain possession here. Right around a minute and a half played here in the third quarter.
1 for 4 from the field since halftime. They're having a tough time getting it going here.
And Steven Adams, a little bit of an unknown, but certainly has upside.
Well, here we go again. 7 feet tall with a 7'5" wingspan and pretty good athleticism, qualities you like. Also impressed teams with his shooting at the combine. A big guy that has some length, mobility, and can shoot. That's somebody you got to take a look at.
Mark and Steve, this game has a lot of character here in the third period.
Yeah, you know what, guys? I love seeing this type of action. A competitive, compelling matchup. A lot of lead changes here so far.
Yeah, 6 in total, Clark. So this has been a great game. Both teams playing hard and really competing out there.
It's Westbrook with the drive. Passes it to Roberson. And the rebound goes to the Warriors. And it's out of bounds. Oklahoma City able to retain possession here. Some changes for Golden State. JaVale McGee's checked in for Pachulia. And it's Bell in for Draymond Green. And again, Oklahoma City, no good.
You know, he's been off his game this quarter just a bit. Hasn't been able to get a whole lot to go so far. You know, with so many high hopes, the Thunder seem to be everybody's pick to make it to the finals.
Oh, ridiculous. Tore it down that time.
I don't know that this is the time for that kind of flair. In a close game, the important thing is the 2 points, not the dramatic.
Oh, come on, Clark. He had to go for it, didn't he?
I'm with you, Kevin. You can't fault him for that. I mean, just let him go. Who cares?
And Thompson kicks to Iguodala. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up.
Tremendous output from Iguodala. He has 14 points, and he's hit the mark twice from 3-point range as well.
Well, it's no secret. I mean, the more points he can come up with from out there, the better off they'll be offensively with their spacing.
Russell Westbrook in for Oklahoma City.
Well, he did enough there. He made it a 2-possession game, at least.
Stolen by Thompson. The drive by Iguodala. Great D that time from Westbrook.
Terrific job that time defending at the rim. I mean, it's not an easy task stopping that fella when he's headed to the bucket like that. Good job.
Stupendous rush to the rim and a mighty slam on the end of it.
But through the teeth of some pretty soft D, I can't help but say that.
Well, let's see how that impacts things here, because those kinds of plays sometimes can be game changers on both sides.
Timeout called the Warriors.
You know, the Warriors made big strides last year, and part of it was a retooling of the team, but they also got a lot of help from the group of rookies that they had, and a number of those rookies played prominent roles down the stretch and in the playoffs.
Second half here. We're just over 3.5 minutes into it. There's Green with the 3, and a great assist by Curry as that one goes in. Curry's got 3 assists now in this one. Westbrook drives in. The feed now to Cantor. He passes to Ferguson. Patterson trying to answer back, but that 3 is off the mark. Well, Clark, as you said, the Warriors did lean on their rookies as the season went on. 4 of them in all, with 3 coming in the draft and 1 walking on the roster. Big help, Steve, from them in the opening round of the playoffs.
You know, pretty remarkable that a team could do that well in the postseason, relying on so many rookies, but it speaks to their maturity, their character, the group they've put together, and it's very promising in terms of their long-term success.
It's Westbrook with the drive. No luck. So Golden State will take it the other way. Curry with it. Westbrook picks him up. Westbrook with the steal. Goes up, and it's blocked by Curry. And up the court come the Warriors on the break. Thompson misses. Roberson the pass to Westbrook. Puts up a 3. That's good. Westbrook's got 19 points. Heaves it up. The shot will not go. And offensively, a great show for the fans through the first 3. And thanks for joining us again as the fourth quarter of play is set to get rolling. It's been a close battle to this point. And let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for the Warriors.
Well, the great passing we saw in the first half has carried right over into the second.
You know, they're taking care of business in the paint, too. Those are valuable points they've been getting down low.
They double-team Curry, and that one's good. But Julia's got the fourth quarter going with the first basket of the period here for the Warriors. Westbrook up top, guarded by Curry. Pass to Roberson. From deep. No good.
Oh, that's got to be deflating and disappointing to miss a wide-open shot like that right in your wheelhouse.
Here's Thompson, and the officials whistle a foul on the shot. The bucket's good. He'll go to the line. Patrick Patterson, he's checked in for Enes Kanter.
Well, you know, it's interesting, guys. Klay Thompson, as we all know, is a deadly outside shooter. But I think early in his NBA career, he struggled a bit with his touch around the rim. So it's nice to see as last season wore on, he started to find that touch around the glass and finish against bigger guys, which is much needed at the two-guard position.
Green dishes to Curry. Back to Green. Outside for Curry. Young, 6 to shoot. Good, and Curry gets the assist. Well, and Clark, going back to Klay Thompson, he wants to be a complete player. His dad certainly was, and, Steve, he's just not a shooting specialist.
No, he's got the size and ball handling ability to really attack off the dribble, and he's also become an excellent defender, too. Greg Popovich talked about it during their playoff series a year ago. Thompson really did a nice job at that end of the floor. You know, his shot's been pretty accurate today, but he has not had his usual share of opportunities.
And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
During that break, the coach of the Thunder had some words for his team. He let his players know that they've got to do a better job on defense. He said, they're scoring any way they want. We've got to show some pride here. Let's make a stand defensively, get a stops, and get on a run of our own. Do they have it in them, Kevin?
Now, here is Young. He's guarded closer. And now it's Westbrook running. He can go all the way. Slammed home, and he draws the foul. Chance for another point at the free throw line. They get Andre Iguodala.
Boy, I love it. Active hands on the steal, active feet on the fast break.
And Clark power on the dunk.
And guys, this is just too close of a game to be giving the ball up like that and then failing to get back in transition. Russell Westbrook suffering that torn meniscus in his right knee after the collision with the Rockets' Patrick Beverley in the first round of last year's playoffs. Really just derailed the Thunder's hopes for a championship.
Here's Iguodala. Not enough on that one as it misses.
And the defense got away with a major lapse there.
Westbrook drives in. Left side, Westbrook. And George kicks to Westbrook. Back to George. Uncovered. And Oklahoma City again with the bucket. Well, back to Westbrook until that knee injury. He never missed a game in his 5-year NBA career. Clark, the longest consecutive games streak in the NBA.
How about going back to college and high school? Didn't miss any games there either.
Right.
Remarkably durable. So this is really his first experience with a major injury, Kevin. Knowing him, though, and his tenacity and his desire to be great, I think he's going to be able to respond just fine.
And over 2.5 minutes in the books here in the fourth. Curry passes to Green. An amazing finish with a hand right in his face. Green's got 5 points in the quarter.
Unstoppable offense from both teams. I love the pace this game has been played at.
So does everybody else in the building. This has been a fun one.
And Roberson kicks to Westbrook. And count it. 2 points with a chance for one more at the free throw line.
He's one of the best in the league at that. Even with just a tiny sliver, he always seems to find a way to get it up and in.
Klay Thompson, he's checked in for Golden State.
Some great free throw shooting so far in this second half.
I think they should keep trying to initiate contact and get back to the line until they start missing from there. But as it is, they're perfect so far, so keep it up. And
Curry, here we go. Green, and lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2.
No slowing him down. Just some incredible numbers for Green. He's got 10 points, and he's done a little bit of work behind the arc. He's got a pair of 3-pointers.
Well, the defenders have that in the back of their minds now, too, so they're going to close out on him quicker. That should allow him to use the drive if he wants.
The free throws go down, and the lead goes up.
Outside, George. And that comes off the assist by Russell Westbrook. And that's now 17 points for Paul George. Warriors leading by 5. Curry dishes to Iguodala. Back to Curry. 1:29 left in the fourth quarter. Shot clock at 6. Iguodala defended by George. A drive by Iguodala. Can't get it to go. And here are the Thunder now. They're on a 12-4 run. Westbrook with the bucket. And now just a 3-point Warrior lead.
Things are really tightening up now, guys. Their offense has become unstoppable.
Not sure where it was before, but better late than never.
Dennis Cantor's checked in for the Thunder. From deep, Green. And that one's good. And the Warriors lead by 6.
They're getting a bunch of their points outside of the paint. 3 of their last 5 buckets are from 3-point range.
But the defense isn't making them earn it. I mean, those shots have just come on easy, open looks. Remember, he was hot early, 3 3-pointers in the first half, but he may have to start putting the ball on the floor. His shot's not working here in the second.
Took advantage of some shoddy defense there. They've got to at least get a finger on it.
Double team on Westbrook. Out of bounds, Golden State takes possession.
Such a careless pass. You've got to keep your head in the game here.
Golden State's gotten off to a great start from 3-point range in the final quarter. They're a perfect 3 of 3. And the jam by Stephen Curry.
Boy, they're extending their lead. It kind of feels like they're just piling on here as we come to an end.
Well, hey, let's just call it what it is. They are trying to run it up on them.
Here's George. Westbrook. And again, no good by Oklahoma City. Clark, they're in good position here to ride it out.
Yeah, they certainly are. I mean, if they just play smart right here, Kevin, this game's pretty much over.
And Thompson kicks to Curry. Iguodala outside. Back to Curry. Takes a 3. That falls. Nice speed that time from Andre Iguodala.
Well, the fans already heading for the exits, clearly not pleased with the way their home team played here today.
And they shouldn't be pleased. I mean, it's a very well-deserved win, Steve. They came into this building and weren't intimidated at all. They were the aggressors.
Westbrook passes to George. That one's off. Still out of sync. So we see the Warriors taking the game here. Not much to be critical of with this win, Clark.
Not at all. I mean, they showed up not just to play. They showed up to give great effort and to win.